How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. Got some funny news today, but in general, I was gonna just talk about the Fnaf movie, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that will be coming October 27th of this year. And yeah, it recently got leaked, which of course I can't show anything because, that's a copyright strike waiting to happen. But if you could find it, I saw it on Twitter originally, and it looks pretty good, all things like considered. But yeah, I guess I was just gonna talk about it for those that don't know, and yeah, not necessarily like the leak because it just shows like if you're familiar with the series, it's just characters, people So that's really it. But yeah, so if you didn't know, yes, there is going to be a FNAF movie by Blumhouse, so same studio behind the recent Halloween movies, right, and many, many more. Yeah, it's coming out again in October, and they haven't showed much. As far as I know, this movie had been through a lot, like a development hell almost. Had been, I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, it was like over 8 years, like up and downs for this thing to get made. And yeah, it's finally going to come out um, day and day, so in theaters, but also on Peacock same day, which I kind of wish they did just theater. I think the movie would hold its own. Similarly, or recently, how Evil Dead Rise was originally going to be streaming only on HBO Max, but then, the audience early screenings were very positive, so they put it in theaters, and it's made a lot of money, or is making a lot of money, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's, I guess, for convenience. Yeah, hey, you don't have to go to a theater to see it. You can just watch it at home. But yeah, that's I would hope in the future that they would make them like theater or only in theaters. Give it that big movie feel. But it's pretty cool. The cast is interesting. So of course, the story follows the essentially the premise of most of the games, right? Where a lonely security guard, has to survive a night at the pizzeria. And of course, our main Mike Schmidt, who's like the protagonist of the whole series. If you are familiar with like the backstory, the timeline of FNAF, it does get pretty deep, but considering all the novels and everything, supplemental media that has come out, right? It's not just like, oh, possessed robots anymore. It goes pretty crazy. But yeah, Mike, played by Josh Hutcherson, who most of you will know as PETA from the Hunger Game movies. He's essentially our lead, which I don't have a problem with. I think he fits the role. And awesomely, Matthew Lillard, so Shaggy, the live action Shaggy, and of course Stu Macher in the original Scream will be our William Afton, aka Springtrap, right? The main villain of FNAF. Uh, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's gonna follow probably like the first game. But interesting, it has been confirmed that an actress is going to play a character, Vanessa, which is a character from the last FNAF game that, in real life that has come out and in the timeline being a security breach. So they are taking their liberties, which I understand. I don't know what it is with Hollywood. They could never do a one for one. Always got to change something. So yeah, we'll see how that plays into it. Are they gonna make her Vanessa and like Mike related somehow? We'll see, right? But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. One thing I found out that honestly got me more excited for the film was that, so of course the main attraction, the stars are the animatronics, right? Freddy, Bonnie, etc. And a movie like this, you would expect them to just cheap out, right? I'd be like, oh, CGI, you know, uh, But no, surprisingly, they are practical and cool enough. They are made by the Jim Henson Company, which, if you don't know, is literally the guy or the company that made The Muppets, Sesame Street. So I was like, okay, you actually got like, like it's pretty crazy. I was looking at what Jim Henson like worked on, like the company, and anything you could think of that had some sort of fuzzy person in a suit or a puppet, they made it. Like it's pretty wild. Like they did the suits for the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies in the 90s, which were pretty good, all things considered. So that fact alone got me excited. I'm like, okay, so they're gonna look good at least. Story wise, I mean, it's a horror movie. We don't know if it's gonna be PG-13 or R. I know there's that whole argument of like, oh, if they make it PG-13, is it gonna be safe? But then it's like the games were never that bloody. I mean, violent, yes, but so you could get away with that as like there's it's doable. So that's not like a bad thing for me. Like if it's PG-13, I'm still gonna see it. But the one interesting fact that I saw was that with this movie, which hasn't come out yet, it's gonna release simultaneously on Peacock. So of course, the potential for it'll make money, I'm guessing, but of course, like it won't achieve that. Like it could have made more, right? Because people could just watch it at home. But apparently, Blumhouse is already in production of a sequel, so Fnaf 2 and 3. Now that does not mean that they're gonna follow like this is like the first game, second game. No, like again, they have the character Vanessa who in the timeline is like at the very end and interacting with Mike when it's like we were first introduced to him, so it's like, yeah, they're gonna have their liberties, but sequels to the movie are already being made or are going to be, and it's Blumhouse's plan to, just like old school horrors, whether it was horror franchises, whether it was Friday the 13th or Halloween, where they just pump them out every year. Because, I mean, that's horror. It's cheap to make, quick buck, people go see it. So I just hope it's good and that the future sequels would just be theater only. If it does that well, we'll see. It could be a bomb for all we know. But I'm excited. FNAF as a series started out, the first one was in 2014. I was like in high school, and the games are simple. I mean, they're just jump scares. But I always like the whole backstory, or the, I guess, mascot horror, as that subgenre has been called, where they take these kiddie characters but then make them scary. I enjoy that, like Bendy or even like Puppy Playtime. I find it cool. It's like, yeah, it's like what we perceive as like cute or cuddly is like make it scary. And I like that, it's unexpected. But yeah, guys, that's it. There's gonna be a FNAF movie coming out in October. Being that the trailer got leaked, I'd assume we're gonna get the like official reveal soon. Again, it's coming out in October. We know that near the end, so I'd assume we'd have to get a first trailer around now, maybe June, and then like as movies go on, we'll get a second one closer, August, September-y. Maybe they do a final one like the week before. Hopefully they don't give away the whole movie, but from what I saw, not really. It's just setting up for, like, again, if you played the games, you kind of know. Security guard at a pizzeria, evil possessed robots. Yeah. But yeah, guys, what do you think? Did you know there was going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Are you excited? I'm going to check it out, and hopefully it's decent, and, the sequels follow that. But yeah, if you like that type of content, I make new videos every Tuesday and Saturday, usually. And please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. I'm tripping over my words. But as always, everybody, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.